the book I am writing on Brahma Sutras, that is only, it is a compilation of 4 or 5 books, but it is all written in Telugu. So whatever portion I write, I just give to the website, telugubhakti.com. So from that, it is gone.
Don't touch the screen, Swami. Use that screen.
We are not an expert like you, see.
No, please don't.
Kaljodu. Here, he has given about the 4 chapters also, he has given some synopsis. About the 4 chapters. Huh? ఇంకా పెద్ద సమన్వయేతో స్పష్టలింగం అస్పష్టత్వేపి ఉపాస్యగం జ్ఞేయగం పదమాత్రం చింత్యం పాదేష్వనుక్రమాత్. So the first chapter is called Samanvayadhyaya. 4 parts we are having. The first part is telling about the Spashtalinga, means the sentences that were taken are indicating Brahman correctly, clearly. Then the second part, aspashta. That means that the indications are not so clear in the second part. And then not only this, upasyagam. Some of the sentences which deal with upasana also has been discussed in the second part.
Part is Pada.
Part is Pada. And in the third and fourth, no, the clear sentences in the first part, unclear sentences indicating Brahman in the second part, and the third is upasana. And the fourth only they take some words, pradhanam, avyaktam, ajam, like that they have discussed in the fourth. That is first chapter. Second chapter, smruti tarkabhyam avirodho anya dushtata bhuta bhokta sute linge sute asya viruddhata. So the first is called smriti pada. Smriti pada, that is, now the Sankhya also is considered as smriti, and then other yoga and other things. So he says there, if you discuss only taking the support of Vedas and the smritis that support the Vedas, the other all smritis become waste, futile, like Sankhya, Vaisheshika, all these things. Then they will not be having any chance to tell about Brahman. But if you don't take the support of Vedas, if you take only the support of your smritis, they can deal with dharma. So there is chance for them. But if you refute all the things, there will be no chance to talk about. So why don't you accept ours? That is the Smritipada. Then he says, if we accept your doctrines, nobody will realize in this life, because they are not according to Vedas. So you are refuted. That is called Smritipada. And the Sankhya, Yoga, Kanada, all these things are refuted in the first part. And in the second, again he says, that is Tarkapada. Tarka means logic. Through logic, again these things have been refuted. And in the third part, they have discussed about these 5 elements, Pancha Mahabhuta. About that, some misconception is there, some virodha is there. That's why he has discussed about them. That is, in the third part, not only regarding the 5 elements, but about Jiva also has been discussed. And in the fourth part, they have discussed about the subtle body. So that is the division. And in the third chapter, first he has discussed about this passion and the word Tat, Brahman, Tvam, the Jiva, and their indicated meaning is clearly explained there. What is Tat, what is Tvam, and how the individual will be getting this passion. That is so Vairagya was told in the first part, Tattvam, their indicated meaning is clearly told in the second part, and in the third, Gunopasamhara. Gunopasamhara means, see, whenever you meditate, whether you are meditating on the formless Brahman or Brahman with form, then what are the qualities you should take to meditate on the Brahman? That is the most difficult part in the Brahma Sutras. So in Kashi, those who study just like me, Shastri, and afterwards Acharya. So those who study Acharya, they made so much Halla-gulla. That is, so much they were against in the university. Oh, this is very difficult, so you should take away this, we cannot write, we cannot read, we cannot understand. So much sounding. And finally, from the examination, the third part completely has removed, third adhyaya. Not part, the whole chapter has been removed. So that is Gunopasamhara, but it's very interesting. And then, what are the necessary qualities for attaining knowledge? That has been told in the fourth part. Third chapter, fourth part. What are the qualities to have the knowledge?
I did not understand who decided to remove the third part.
That is from the university. University has removed the whole third chapter from the examination, because
Formal examination. This Brahma Sutra also is in the formal examination when you do a MA, Master of Arts.
with
from
Vedanta.
Like an Acharya, when you are appearing for the formal examination, Brahma Sutra is a part of curriculum, syllabus. So due to students' problems and all these things, they created ruckus for the difficulty of understanding the subject. So they have removed this third chapter of Brahma Sutra from the examination, not from the Brahma Sutra.
In examination, they did not read. And you see, the examinations are only a show. Those who pass MA there, that is Acharya, they come here and start reading Laghu. Because there you see, from the examination point of view, they study something, they write something, but not in the regular course. So they do MA there and come here and start again from the beginning. Grammar, logic, all the things. In Kailasashram. So we have seen many students. Now in the fourth chapter, third chapter, parts. You see, first part, it is dispassion. And the second part, Tat and Tvam. Tattvamasi Mahavakya is there. So Tat is Brahman and Tvam is individual soul. So the clear meaning has been established there, indicating meaning. And then third part is Gunopasamhara. What are the qualities to be meditated in the Saguna Brahman and in the Nirguna Brahman? And then fourth, this for knowledge, what are the qualities? That is, one is the outer circle and inner circle. But here only outer circle qualities, just like Saddhavan Labhate Jnanam. Saddha is Bahiranga Sadhana. In some places, though they say the internal inner circle sadhana, but in some they say, and Shama, Dhamma, Viveka, Vairagya, these are all the outer circle qualities. And Shraddha, in some places it goes to inner circle. Like that they divide. So, there are some qualities which an aspirant should have in the outer circle and inner circle. Inner circle means it is more intensive. So here, in the fourth part of the third chapter, so outer circle qualities have been discussed. And in the fourth chapter, what is the necessary of Sravana Manana Nididhyasana has been declared. And just, I heard the Upanishad in 1960. So what necessary is there again to repeat? No, it will not go like that. It will be going on hearing. Avritti rasakrit upadeshat asupte ramrite kalam nayet vedant sindhya. Till you go to bed and till you go to death, you have to repeat Sravana. So, the necessary of Sravana, the repetition, why it is necessary, that has been told. And how by contemplating on the Saguna Brahman, one goes to Brahmaloka. This thing also has been in the first part. And in the second part, how he goes to the Brahmaloka, that is Utkranti, has been discussed. How the gross body gets separated from the subtle body, that also has been discussed. So what is called Utkranti? Utkranti means the separation of the gross body and subtle body is called Utkranti. That has been discussed in the second part. And in the third part, the Upasaka, that is, who is meditating on Saguna Brahman, where he goes, how he goes, and what he enjoys. All those things have been. And about Jivan Mukti, that is, that have been discussed in the fourth part of the fourth chapter in the first half. And in the second half, if the meditator on Saguna Brahma, if he goes to Brahma Loka, how he stays, how he will come back, how he will not come back, what are the enjoyments, something, all these things have been in. So in this way, the 16th parts have been discussed with different. So all these subjects are covered in Brahma Sutras in detail. Now, why I have taken this one, you see, first we say Adhikarana. That is 191 parts are there, each part is called Adhikarana. And in each part there are again 5 subparts. 5 are rules to what that particular Adhikarana is telling. So, in that our book it is not there. So, in this it is there, that's why I brought. That is, what is the context or what is the subject matter? That is, Sangati it is called. Because we are starting, so there is no context. That he says. And what you want to discuss about, what is the, that is, you see, context, Sangati, a connection. And here, and what is the subject matter? He says, whole the Vedanta we wanted to discuss, that is the subject matter. And what is the doubt? He says, you are telling in the very first sutra that you have to contemplate on Brahman. So, is there anything like Brahman? Can it be contemplated or not? So, or is it necessary to contemplate on the Brahman? These are the doubts, he says. Then he says, the opponent says, so far ye have not proved superimposition. So still we are having a doubt about Brahman. And we don't see any fruits. That's why we need not contemplate on Brahman. That's what opponent says. Then the proponent says, you see, you are having the I-ness. I and I-ness. Ahanta buddhi. It is called ahanta buddhi. In that, superimposition is very clear. Because whenever you say already you have superimposed your mind on that. That's why. And another thing is, all the Upanishads, they declare that Brahman is non-attached. What they say? Brahman is non-attached. So, now, why we have told that you have to contemplate on Brahman? He says Brahman is not non-attached. That's why, whether it is there or not there, everybody will be getting a doubt. Everybody will be getting a doubt. Because it is not non-attached. Because it is a non-attached thing, not attached to anything, then everybody knows mind is there, body is there, other things. So, when Atman is there or not, or Brahman is there or not, why we should contemplate, all these things will be coming. So he says, there is a doubt about Brahman and its existence. That's why, and All the Shastras says, by knowing Brahman only you are getting realization. That's why, to prove that Brahman is there, and meditating on that, you will be getting the fruits like this. So, taking the support of the scriptures, we are going to discuss about Brahman. All these things. So, these are the 5 things. There is the topic is there, but the context is not there because it is the beginning. And what is the context? Whole the Vedanta Shastra. And then, what is the doubt? He says, whether Brahman has to be contemplated or not, whether it has to be discussed or not. And the opponent says, not necessary. Because so far you have not proved adhyasa, superimposition. And even if you say, even if you have proved the superimposition, none of us we are seeing any fruits of the realization. We are not seeing, and we see nobody as a realized person. So, we need not discuss about the Brahman. But he says, see, the superimposition is very clear in the I-ness. And then, because the Shastras declared that Brahman is non-attached, there is a doubt about Brahman. That's why we wanted to discuss.
Swamiji, I don't know if it is important to ask this regarding this class, but because Swamiji brought it up, can Swamiji say a few more words about the outer circle and inner circle?
That will come there. In the third chapter it will come.
So this is not the time to discuss.
No, but we have to see and tell. You see, from our side, if I tell something, and I have not written up to that. So, now I think the third chapter, second part is going on. No. Third chapter, it is in the end of the third chapter it is discussed. So, just now I have entered into that. When book is there I can tell, but without the book it is not good to tell.
But in the evening we can see and tell.
In the evening we have to bring the book, that Brahma Sutras.
So in the evening we can.
But simply see, the whole chapter we have to go through.
No, within 5, 6 lines, 10 lines, 10 minutes.
It is not possible. You see, where they have discussed what, which quality has been discussed, and the fourth chapter, the fourth part of the third chapter is not a small 5-10 pages. It is a big one. So we have to see whole thing. Anyhow, we will try to see something in the evening. What are the inner circle qualities, what are the outer circle qualities. But I think next year when we are coming, we will be having some time. Then we can discuss. But if you want to know earlier, we will try to, but we cannot give a word that we will tell completely and clearly now. Because I should have sufficient time to go through the whole third part. The fourth part of the third chapter. Then only I can conclude what are the qualities that he has declared as the outer circle like this. Because simply here he says, we will be discussing the outer circle qualities in the fourth part of the third chapter. So for synopsis I have given, what are the, at least you should know, you see, when you are studying a particular book, what are all the qualities, what are all the subjects that it deals, you should know. That's why. If you give me this book, let me see in this whether anything is written. We will see. chapter 3, section 4, 373, it starts. The very first quality is that those who want to tread the path of knowledge, they should give up all the actions with the fruits. First, that one is told. So,
Actions of Vedic karmas?
yes. And then, first one is brahmacharya. So, to follow the brahmacharya completely, they should take even sannyasa. Because staying as a householder, it may not be possible to observe the brahmacharya completely. That's why the outer circle give up the actions. To follow the brahmacharya, better to take sannyasa. That is one. And then then again he says, even though there is no injunction to do work to attain knowledge, but one must possess calmness, shama, dhamma, self-control and the likes, since these are enjoined as helping to the knowledge. Therefore, have necessarily to be observed. So in outer circle, one has come the celibacy and then giving up the actions and shama, dhamma, and you should not take the food undiscriminatingly. Whatever undiscriminatingly, whatever food comes, because you are meditating on, say, vital force or Brahman, that does not mean you should take whatever comes. You should discriminate and then only. That is, food restrictions are also there. Scriptural statement with respect to food. Then, even in Smriti also, they told about restricted food should be taken.
Swamiji,
Ah.
is the meaning mitahara?
No.
No.
Whichever gives the whichever foods contain the sattvic element. Because you see, again and again I say in the Vishnu house, Uchistama Picha Medhyam, but nobody follows. While eating, you should not get up, point number one. And whatever others have touched once, taken with that hands again, you should not take. You take the food little and again go to the table and again bring. That means your plate, your hand, your mouth is already uchista. So, that it gives you tamasic nature. Uchistama Pichame, that's why I told you to see the sloka. That is 17th 5. 17th 5, there he clearly says that food, once you have touched, it has become uchista. Others should not take. So this buffet system is hopelessly hopeless.
Swamiji speaks about the buffet system.
Not only buffet system, but whatever is kept, once you should take, again you should not touch with that hand the other food. It becomes uchista. That's why another thing also he told, Sri Ramakrishna says, only the Brahman alone is the thing which is never become uchista. Ito naiva.
Uchista in the sense of defilement.
Defilement, he says it is tamasic, it becomes tamasic. He has taken with the same hand again he is taking, and that another is taking. So it has, as you say, it is defiled and it becomes tamasic.
So the first restriction is the food has to be sattvic.
And then once you take, you should not get up. So I want to take again, so I will wash. That also is not allowed. Others should serve you. A particular person should be there to serve you, whatever you want. And while serving, you should not touch the plate. But all these things, who is following here? That is, so the food, in general, it is becoming tamasic. It may be sattvic by nature, but because of this, it is becoming tamasic. Though food restrictions also have been told.
Self-serving mainly. Even in buffet, if someone else is standing behind the counter to serve you, that is okay. Self-serving is not good. Once you start eating with the same hand, if you are touching the food which is common for everyone, then that becomes uchista.
And again he is again stating about the brahmacharya, self does not perish, which one attains by brahmacharya. So that celibacy has been told.
What is the Sanskrit word used for self? Somebody says self does not perish.
Self-Atman?
Atman.
This is a mantra from Chandogya Upanishad, I remember. Brahmachari comes for asking Diksha, if you remember. So this will be discussed. There is a topic in Chandogya Upanishad, Swamiji, that a brahmachari goes for alms because it is his duty according to the ashrama dharma to the two people, those who are already eating. So then this whole discussion is there in Chandogya Upanishad, which will be raised here while discussing this.
And again he says, once you take the life of sannyasa, you should not revert back.
Should not ever.
You should not come back to the householder's life.
Yeah.
All these things.
No reverse gear in the car.
Not to reverse.
Not the reverse.
Gear in the car.
That is in detail, it is discussed here.
What are the punishments and what should he follow if he once reverts, and all these things will be discussed in Brahma Sutra there when the topic is raised.
Means self-punishments.
Self-punishments implied on the self.
Self-punishment as well as what the Shruti says, Smriti says.
According to the Shruti Vakya mantras, but self-punishment.
Then he says, the free from anger and passions, that also he says. And then he should do Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, all these things.
These are the Antaranga sadhana. Shravana Manana.
What word is used for passion, Swamiji, in Sanskrit? Passion.
Passion, kama?
Kama.
Kama.
So, kama in English we translate as lust.
Here
Lust
passion.
Passion, lust.
Mostly while translating, Shravana Manana Nididhyasana is the only inner sadhana, Antaranga sadhana. The rest everything, mostly what he'll say is Bahiranga sadhana.
So, these are some of the things, but this is just from the aphorisms I have told, but when you go detail into the commentary, he will be telling some more, because in the commentary he completely discusses the sentences of the Upanishads. So many other qualities may come. This is just from aphorisms I have told. So why this particular aphorism was started, that we have discussed. Jijnasadhikaranam. Jijnasadhikaranam is you should discuss and you should try to know. Jnatum ichha jijnasa. What do you want to know about Brahma? So you should contemplate on that, you should meditate on that. And why? Because the opponent says, you have not defined superimposition. And the Brahman is not attached to anything. So there is a doubt whether it is existing or not. So we need not discuss at all. He says, no. Because though there is a doubt, by taking the support of logic and scriptures, that Brahman is there, that is defined, or it is confirmed. Not only this, you say, we have not discussed about the superimposition. Superimposition is so famous when the I-ness is there. How can you say it is not so? We have not defined or we have not explained. So, because a doubt may arise in the aspirants about the existence of the Atman or Brahman. For that, we have to discuss. Therefore, inquiry into Brahman. Jijnasa is inquiry, says. This Sanskrit portion we have completed yesterday. So, now we will go to the English portion. Here the word then, atha, then means atha, is to be taken in the sense of immediately following. What immediately following? You should have discrimination, dispassion, all the samadama and mumukshutva. After that, then means. Not as denoting the beginning of new topic. For what is being begun now is not exactly the inquiry into Brahman, nor can the word be taken in the sense of auspiciousness, for such a sense is not in keeping with the general trend. The word then means atha, which is used to indicate any one of its other meanings, simply sounds auspicious due to precedent. But he says, though we say then, it is having two meanings. One is auspicious and another one after. What after? That after having all the sadhana chatushtaya sampanna. That he will be discussing later, I think. Viewed from the point of relation of a preceding section to that which follows immediately, the word then, in effect, is not different from the sense of immediately following. So he says immediately following, after. What after? When the word then goes to mean immediately following, just as one resorts to the study of Vedas as a rule, antecedent to the desire to know the dharma. So now the opponent has come and he says, Athatho dharma jignasa. There is already a particular shastra is there that after reading the Vedas, one should discuss about dharma, inquire into dharma. So it is already there. Why you are again telling something else? Instead of dharma, you have put Brahma. Why? So also it is to be explained what antecedent one has to resort to as a rule in the inquiry into Brahman. The study of Vedas is the antecedent common to the inquiry into Dharma as well as into Brahman. Then he says, after studying Vedas, one has to inquire Dharma, one can inquire Brahman also, but the portions are different. The fourth portion of Vedas is for Dharma, for Brahma, and other three are for Dharma. Now he says, then how can you say that only without studying also one can contemplate on Brahman, complete Vedas? Then he says, those who have studied Upanishads can contemplate. Knowledge of Brahman should follow that of the Vedic rites. Is not this the specific instruction here? Is it not the specific instruction here? One has to study all the Vedic rites, one has to do all the Vedic rites. By the time the span of life will go away. If you follow whatever the opponent says, he says, you should read all the Vedic rites, you should follow them, you should do them in action. By the time you will become old and you will not be able to contemplate on Brahman. That's why he says in Gita, after completely telling about Sthita Prajna, he says, Yesha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nainam Prapi Vimuhyati Sthitva Syam Antakalevi Brahma Nirvana Muchyati. So even in the end of the life, if you are able to completely contemplate on Brahman, you will be realizing. So, for contemplating completely on Brahman, you should have practice from the beginning itself. All of a sudden, all the while you are leading a relative life, having so many desires, and all of a sudden you can just turn the mind into this side. So, but most of the householders, they think, oh, in the end, if we contemplate on Brahman, it will be all right. So, those who are following are observing the householder's life, you ask them, now we have already become old, so come to the ashram, take sannyasa and contemplate on Brahman. No, some small desires I am having. Now I have seen the son, I want to see the grandson, and I wanted to see his marriage. But there ends the matter by the life. The practices, you may be a householder, but does not mean you should get attached to only the relative desires. If you want to realize, though you are staying there, that's why Sri Ramakrishna says, Be unattached. You stay wherever you want, but be unattached with the mind. And then contemplate on Brahman. Then only in the end you will be able to get the concentration and you can contemplate on Brahman. Otherwise it is not possible. So now what he says, no, Sika, because Vedas have prescribed, you have to do all the actions. First, all the action portion you should read, then you should follow the actions. That's the opponent. Because he is a Purvamimamsa. He says, only going to heaven is realization. No, a man who has studied Vedas, even prior to his desire to know Dharma, might possibly desire to know Brahman. Who has studied Vedas, even prior to his desire to know Dharma, might possibly desire to know Brahman. See, desire may be there. He wanted to know Brahman as you want to know Dharma. Unlike the specific order to be followed while cutting the liver, tongue, etc., for a defined order is to be followed, then there is none to be followed here. That means, in your actions, in your yajnas, you should follow particular order, particular succession. But here it is not like that. So, don't compare this Vedanta contemplation with the rites. And you see, in this connection, I would like to tell you, I am giving the comparison. See, one is the follower of actions, and another is the follower of Vedanta. So, one who is following the actions, first he is superimposing his mind, then he becomes I, and again he is identifying that I with the doership and the enjoyership. And whenever he wanted to follow some rite, his wife should be besides him. That means, patir yajna sanyoge iti patni. Whenever he wanted to perform an yajna or havan, his wife should be there and she also should put oblation. Why Rama brought a idol of Sita in gold when he wanted to do Ashwamedha Yaga? She has sent Sita to exile, and again he wanted to perform Ashwamedha Yaga. Because he is a householder, wife should be besides him whenever he is performing an yajna. That's why, he, as suggested by the Brahmins, is the idol of Sita in gold.
In this regard, Swamiji, why the wife has to be with the person, is it because of in some depictions of the deity, you see half man, half woman. Is this the reason why his
No,
wife
no.
should be there?
It is, you see, the rites are to be performed as a householder in the presence of the wife. So, another very wonderful thing I will tell you, he has to offer the clarified butter into the fire. But before offering the fire, it has to be purified. How it will be purified? See, they keep the fire, I think, almost near the steps. Near the steps. So, there will be a curtain in between the wife and the husband. Husband will be sitting below the steps. The wife, she has to climb the steps. And her shade should fall in the ghee, in the clarified butter. Shade, shadow. Then only it is purified, then only you can put. Otherwise, So, in all the yajnas and yagas that are to be performed, with a desire or without a desire, but if they are the scriptural injunctions and rites, wife is necessary. So, again he says, Dinam ekam napi natistet anashrami son. If wife passes, he take another wife. Otherwise, go to sannyasa. But without that side or this side, you should not say even a single day. Na dinam ekamapi tistet anashrami san.
Swamiji, I have a small doubt. In all time, were women allowed to take sannyasa?
No. But they can realize God. In olden times, they used to tell, let them, if they are having vairagya and if they are having that mental caliber to meditate on, so they can, and in olden days they said, you see, let them read all the Puranas, all the Smritis, whatever Brahman has described there, they can meditate and they can easily realize. That's why 5,000 years back, Sri Krishna says that Striyo Vaishyas Tada Sudha Te Piyanti Parangatim. He has told. But we don't hear the tradition of sannyasa even before the advent of Buddha. Have you heard anybody taking sannyasa, sannyasi is roaming? Before the advent of Buddha, where we hear? It was Buddha who has started this sannyasa and ashrams. So seeing only this much he has taken, that those who renounce, they can stay properly in a particular place and do all their meditations, etc., studies. For that an ashrama is necessary. Thinking so, Lord Shankaracharya started the month. Before that, for sannyasi, no ashram. It was started only in 800 AC, after the birth of Christ. So, before that it was not there. We never, but we do here and there, we do here. Ravana took the form of sannyasa and took away Sita. Arjuna took the form of sannyasa and took away Subhadra. So, the ill fame of sannyasis were there. But there was a sannyasis, renunciation was there. And contemplation and Brahman was there. We read so many, say, rishis and other things, but most of them, all of them are having in the householder life, and they have realized. Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, so many we hear. So, when there was no sannyasa itself, before the advent of Buddha, there may be some staying in some caves and some Buddha here, moving here and there. Like that, we may get some glimpses. But actually, they are in a procedure, they were taking sannyasa and staying in the ashrama, this was not there.
Not so systematic, but of course we hear Yagyavalkya took sannyasa much before Buddha. So there is a written proof, valid proof for sannyasa, but not so systematic like constructing ashram and all these things.
Afterwards, where he went, where he stayed, who has seen him, no record. He took sannyasa bas. So, with the help of the scripture, we say that sannyasa ashrama is there. But we never, besides Yagyavalkya, we never hear anybody took sannyasa. Janaka was, we say, realized person and he has not taken sannyasa. So, when the tradition of sannyasa is not so famous, what to talk of women taking sannyasa and... But Avadhutani is there. In Yoga Vasishtha also some lady's name it comes, I forgot her name. Not Chudal, another thing Chidgananji wrote and gave me. So there is a discussion about ladies going away from the house and meditating on and realizing. Discussion, they are allowed to get away from the house and stay somewhere and they can realize. That is there. So in the same way, we say Gargi, a Brahma Vidushi, but no sannyasa there. Sannyasa is not mentioned. And especially this Karapatriji. Karapatriji, now the present head of the Govardhan Mutt is called Swami Nischalananda, Puri Jagannath. So his guru is called Karapatriji. And yesterday I have mentioned Hamsanandaji, who is staying in Rishikesh. His guru is Karapatriji. He was dead against that ladies should not take sannyasa. He was dead against. But now you see, he has given 10 annexes for the sannyasis. At the same time, I think he has divided into 4 akhadas. These akhada people, you see, they are almost extrovert people. Almost. More than 90%. Am I correct? Akhada people, they are more extrovert people. More than 90% we can say. Very few are there who study scriptures, who contemplate on Brahman like this, very few are there. Out of 100, maybe 10 or 20 may be there. So, what they did, the Akhada people, they all joined together. And it was only the Karapatriji Maharaj was dead against taking the sannyasa for the woman. So they wanted to confirm it. Yes, women can take sannyasa. They wanted to confirm. How they will do? So there was a Swami by name Kashikanandji. He was an expert logician in those days. That is, before 89, 12 years before 89, it is 77. In 77, Allahabad Kumbh Mela was there. 1977 or 12 years little before, when Karpatri was living. What these Akhada people did, they are very in a crooked way. What they did, they have printed a pamphlet telling there will be a discussion between Kashikanandaji and Karpatriji regarding debate, regarding the sannyasa of ladies. But they have not informed Kashikanandaji. And they have printed the pamphlets, and in Kumbh Mela means lakhs and lakhs of people will be coming. They have just distributed the pamphlets. Now, that discussion will be between Kashikanandaji and Karapatriji. Kashikanandaji was not informed, but everybody goes and asks, Swamiji, there is a debate regarding this topic, and they have printed your name. Now what to do? If he says, I don't want to attend the debate, it is ill fame, because it has spread so much. So he said, all right, I will do the debate. And in that debate, Karpatri was defeated. How he says, you see, in scripture, now the negating word is more prominent. Negating sentence is more prominent, and we give preference in the scriptures for negation. Even here we say, in Mandukya Karika, by neti neti and by negating, the Atman is proved. So, if we want to be a proof that ladies should not take sannyasa, there should be a negating sentence in the scripture. Nowhere we find any sentence in this regard, that ladies should not take sannyasa. Like that, negation is not there. So they can take. He has declared and he has won the war, won the debate, Kashikanji. From that time onwards, these Akhada people, they started giving sannyasa to the ladies. And the thing is, you see, why the educated or scholarly persons, why they say they should not take sannyasa? Two reasons were there. First thing, they are not having a tuft. And another thing, they are not having a sacred thread. These are the marks for doing the actions. So, but the scriptures are allowing, you can sit with your husband and follow the actions. So now giving up, sannyasa giving up means giving up the actions and giving up the tuft. But what you are having to give up? How can you take sannyasa? That is their argument. Their argument is, you see, first, alone you are not allowed to do actions. Only you should sit with your husband and do the actions. And while taking sannyasa, you should give up. What you will give up? No tuft, no sacred touch. So, in that way, they argue they are not allowed. That's why one famous Brahmavidishini was there by name Anandamayima. So, she was wearing always the whites, and she never gave any sannyasa to any of our disciples. So many disciples were there, lady disciples. She never gave. But for gents, those who are his disciples, few have taken, one or two have taken from Kailas ashram. So it is like that. It is a point of controversy. Point number one. So I have put both these sides. How he has won the debate, telling that there is no negating sentence in the Vedas. Sannyasa should not be taken by ladies. So in that way he has won the debate. But if we see, what they give up? Nothing to give up. You have given up the desires. Putreshna, Lokeshna, Vityeshna, give up. All right, you go and meditate and realize Brahman, who is starting, you see, nobody is expecting any lady from realizing. But why they should take only sannyasa and realize? So that is their debate. Oh, all the world it is going on like that.
So what Swamiji says is karma kanda sannyasa.
Giving up karma kanda is sannyasa.
That's what Swamiji says, karma kanda sannyasa. That's the meaning.
That is the meaning. Giving up means giving up the householder life and the actions, and putreshna, lokeshna, vityeshna, then they can go to sannyasa and they can contemplate for the gents. So for ladies, they say if you are not having putreshna, lokeshna, vityeshna, very good, you go and contemplate on Brahman and realize. That Krishna also has allowed. But Krishna never praises. You see, the man should take sannyasa only. No sentence to that extent. He says, mostly says, you will be eligible for Sankhya Yoga. That means the path of knowledge. How you will get the eligibility? By giving up the fruits of the actions, you will be getting the eligibility. This what that means. Krishna is always supporting the householders. We can say. Even he says that the man who is giving up the fruits of the actions is called a Gauda sannyasi, he says. In the household also. Why? Because he is giving up something. A sannyasi has given up more, and he is also given up those. He is a Gauda sannyasi, subsidiary sannyasi, he says. But while writing the commentary, Shankaracharya supports only sannyasis. He also never told the ladies can take sannyasa. No saint you see, he has never declared that ladies should take sannyasa. This is my point of controversy. It is somehow it is going on in this world.
Very big debate it is.
On this same subject, Swamiji, one more question, if possible.
Why not?
In the same line, Swamiji, is it true that in the old time only Brahmanas could take sannyasa? Swami?
That you see, we cannot tell because they were following the rituals completely. And because of the rituals, they were engaging their whole time in the rituals, as well as Kshatriyas and Vaishyas also, in olden days. So, their mind is purified. By following dharma, their mind was purified, and at times they used to take sannyasa. Not all. We never heard some particular Brahmana even I think in Mahabharata we didn't hear about the sannyasa. 5,000 years back it is written. But we hear the ill fame of the sannyasis. That means sannyasis were there. This much we can tell.
Sannyasis were?
There. Ill fame of sannyasis we hear. That Arjuna...
Sannyasis, the people who has disguised themselves as sannyasis.
That is ill fame.
Ill fame of sannyasis is not the proper word.
See, that's why you should take the cloth of sannyasis.
They are disguised because sannyasa was so revered in those times that they have disguised themselves as sannyasis.
That means when you take and in such a man forward in society, and he has taken sannyasa without disguise, and he has eloped with somebody, that is...
You are talking about Arjuna, you are talking about Ravana. So sannyasis were so revered in those times that they were never doubted. So Ravana took the form of sannyasi, Arjuna took the form of sannyasi, so not to be detected.
Not to be detected in the same... In other words, it comes like that. What do you say, Swamiji? It is ill-faming the sannyasis. Even nowadays also, if one particular sannyasi does something, and the whole society of sannyasis are blamed, it is something like that.
As you say, Swamiji. At last it comes to that, as Guru said.
No. See...
Swamiji, when you think deeply, these two has a very different meanings. If you say ill fame of a sannyasi, means he was really...
Ill-faming sannyasis.
Ill-faming sannyasi,
What I mean to say, ill-faming sannyasi.
Yeah, but when you say ill fame of a sannyasi,
No.
it goes in a very different
No,
meaning.
not ill-fame of a ill-faming sannyasis.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Now, Swamiji, last question.
That's all right. You go ahead.
This question is a little sensitive, but still, I think I feel it's relevant.
Please.
Swamiji, in the West, we don't have a cup, we don't have a thread, but we take sannyas.
So what the Guru does is, before initiating, he puts it, not only in the West, there are many in the South, as Swamiji said, 10th Pontiff, they have only sacred thread and no tuft. Because as 10th Pontiff said, in South, many Brahmanas even, they don't have the tuft, only the sacred thread. Or some of these three castes, Brahman, Kshatriya and Vaishya, they come for having sannyasa, but they don't have all these symbols, linga it's called. So no tuft or the sacred tuft. So when the Guru is initiating into sannyasa, before that, for 1 day or 1 hour, he will put it. So while doing the shave head, clean shave, he'll tell the barber to keep a little bit so that he can cut as a symbol.
And he will push the thread also. So that afterwards, when sannyasa, they remove it.
Normally I
Just to complete this little doubt, Swami, although the Guru symbolic to give, but as Westerners, we never performed yagyas, we never did any...
That is true. You see, that in this life you have not done what Shankara says. In your last birth you must have done. Otherwise you will not get renunciations.
If you are having the sanskara impression of taking a sannyasa, or if you are interested in taking a sannyasa or leading a sannyasi life, that means we have done something in the past.
And another thing, nowadays, even ladies wanted the akhar clothes, no doubt. Ladies wanted to wear the akhar clothes. So, the intermediate way, what the Gurus found, just they give the initiation of a particular deity to her and give the red cloth. That means, because you want to be a sannyasi, be a sannyasi, but you better first go with the Saguna Brahman. And afterwards, you can, by hearing the scriptures and other things, you can have contemplation.
Last thing, Swami. I have heard Swamiji that in the old days, ladies were not allowed to study the Upanishads.
Yes. But because seeing their, say, dispassion, they were allowed afterwards. Because our sixth pontiff were taking classes. Sixth pontiff means more than 70 years back. So some of the ladies, as I told you, I have described our lecture hall. It is all only just mesh. Mesh in the sense, only all the breeze will be coming, everything. It is just like a mesh, only animals cannot come down, even birds can come inside. So it is a mesh like that. And they used to put a curtain to protect the teacher from the cold and sun. So these ladies used to come, sit behind the curtain and used to hear whatever Swamiji was telling. So then Swamiji told, all right, because you are having renunciation, you can come and sit in the class. So in that way they were allowed to hear.
Which pontiff was this one?
Sixth, that who wrote, that who gave sannyasa to Swami Sivananda.
But in the Upanishads we always hear, you see, one is Yagyavalka's wife, Maitreyi. Second is the granddaughter of Vachaknu Rishi, who is Gargi.
Vachaknu.
She is the granddaughter of the Rishi, sage Vachaknu. That is why she is called Vachaknavi Gargi. So we hear that they were already reading this Upanishads and Brahmagyana and all those things. So when we say olden days, so that is from 8th century to 18th century, this is the period. But when you take the Upanishadic historic era, then they were allowed.
Those who are having
and
more...
They do change with the times and all those things.
So now, according to the so many masters, giving red cloth and giving an initiation of Saguna Brahman is allowed for the ladies because they are having renunciation and discrimination, dispassion. And of course, in the debate, they are now, you see, the ladies are put as biggest pontiff of particular ashram. There. And in Kumbh Mela, you see, especially all the pontiffs, they go in a chariot. So with the all the sannyasis, the ladies sannyasis also go in a big procession. The main thing is, in some places, though the outside sannyasa, they do say necessary. In Mundaka, Linga sannyasa, for realization, that is to keep away from the society and to keep away from all the distractions. Linga sannyasa is necessary. But Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Krishna says, outside sannyasis, they don't give so much a preference. Well, internal development should be there. So, the intense desire should be there to realize the God. That should be the purpose of the life. So, if that they are having, they say this side, they say that side, they are wearing, this is nothing, we need not worry about that. Unlike the specified order to be followed while cutting the liver, tongue, etc., for a defined order is to be followed, then there is none to be followed here. So, while taking the path of knowledge, reading the Upanishads, etc., that there is no succession. So, no succession. And then, even without following the rites, without performing the household duties, one can come to the renunciating life. There is no authority to show that there is a relation between the desire to know Dharma and that to know Brahman, as that one exists between the whole and its parts. The soul and its parts they have already described. Because the opponent is a follower of action. Dasapurna Masabhyam Swarga Kamo Yajeta. One who wants to go to heaven has to perform such and such an action. Then while doing that, in between, if he is having a desire to possess money, then Godohanena Pasukamo Yajeta. So that he has to bring particular part, then he will get the, there after death he will be going to heaven, here he will be getting money. This is, that simply says the whole and its part. That's why given he has a footnote here, Sesha Sheshi are the two terms that appear in Bhashya. Of these, Sesha is translated the whole principle. The Sheshi as the parts upon similarly. Dharmagnyas desire to know all about religious duties is here denoted by the term part, and Brahmagnyas desired as known by the term the whole. But here, Dharma Jignasa, Brahma Jignasa, he has not given that whole and Sesha Sheshi, what the subcommentator describes, that he has not given here. That Dasapurnama Sabhyam Swarga Kamo Yajeta Gohodenena Pasukamaha. That is Sesha Sheshi Bhav. And but here he says the whole is Brahma Jignasa and the part is Karma Jignasa. That cannot be. That is doubt.
No, you are making a mistake.
The desire to know all about religious duties is Dharma Jignasa. And desire to know Brahman is the whole. Where you see, as Vyasa wrote 555 aphorisms on Brahman, the Purvamimamsa, I think Jaimini wrote so many aphorisms. I think more than 1200? Yes. More than 1200 aphorisms he wrote. And it is in 12 parts. It is only 4 parts. That is in 12 parts. But for all the 12 parts, commentaries are not full. For first part, something, three types of commentaries are there, written by. So, there the very first aphorism is Athato Dharma Jignasa. But here, it is Athato Brahma Jignasa. That's why he says, already an aphorism is there. Why again you bring another aphorism? There the little difference is there. So, those who wanted to know Brahman, even before completing the rites, they can, by reading the Upanishads.
Jaimini write it after Vyasa?
No, Jaimini is disciple of Vyasa, though he is the disciple, but he goes astray.
My question is if he wrote it before Vyasa wrote the Brahma Sutra, if he wrote the book,
No, that you see, both were in Samakalina, in the same time it was there. And Jaimini was studying under Vyasa, but he is having his own ideas. That's why he wrote Karma Kanda. Actually, what happened, the story previously also I told you, you managed to forget, that is good, so that I can repeat. the Vyasa was dictating something to Jamin. You remember the story? Huh? What did the story tell? Let everybody hear.
He told, he dictated, even the wise
Hmm.
may fall from purity.
Ah. So then he says, no, this is not correct. Jaimini says it is not correct. Then,
He said, don't worry, don't worry.
ah. Then, the further story?
Said, you can believe what you want, and I will go away
Ah.
some time and come back.
Ah.
And then at night there was rain.
Ah.
And
then?
comes as a woman.
See, I will remind you, at least something you are remembering, very good, thank you very much. Hmm? So, there was a point of controversy between Vyasa and Jaimini. So, Vyasa was telling those who follow the path of renunciation, they should be always alert. They should be away from the objects. He says, no, for a realized person it is not necessary. Like that, Jaimini says. Then all right, today stop the lesson, tomorrow we'll see, he told. And he went away, and went away in the sense that, and told, instructed Jaimini, you see, you are alone in the ashram, so don't allow any lady to sit in the ashram, to come into the ashram. All right. Then he went away, and Jaimini was sitting outside. So, Rajakumar and a princess. A princess comes with all her followers. So, Jaimini was sitting before the ashram, and they started playing, this princess and all her assistants, and playing. It was almost evening, and suddenly rain came. And all the assistants, they ran away, leaving the princess alone. So she could not find, and by the time it was already night, so she comes to Jaimini. You see, it happened, so all my assistants have gone away, now in this rain I cannot go. So you please give me some, just for night I will say. No, Guruji told not to allow. Why you are a saint, you should be very compassionate, this thing, something. And told at last, all right, you stay in this particular thatched house. Bolt it from inside. Even if somebody comes, never open. You bolt it from inside. He went. And went and sat in his room. But only the whole day he was seeing the dance of the princess and the assistants. So that was reeling, and at last he could not control himself. Somehow or other, I want to meet the princess. Intense desire has raised. So he knocks the door. Already instructed, don't open the door. So she was not opening the door. He did not see it is only Vyasa. So then he has removed, because the thatch is set, you see, he has removed some of the lips and just entered inside. Vyasa gives a nice blow. That's why I say, even a renounced person should be careful. That he teaches. But afterwards, anyhow, he is not. Just like you see, the Gautama was the guru of Vyasa. This also I told. So, the guru, what is his name? Afterwards, it became Akshapada. Eye in the leg. So, when he was writing Vyasa, the Brahma Sutras, he has refuted his guru also. He is a follower of logic. With logic, one cannot realize Brahman. So he has completely refused. Then Guruji came to know He has refuted. You studied under me and you are refuting me. He got angry. I don't want to see your face. Who says? Gautama. So see, I have learned something. You are my Guru. Even if you learn a single letter, you should bow down to the Guru. That what Shastra says. So I will be daily coming and giving you prostrations. You do whatever you like. Then he has taken you, I will not see you. So he has tied his eyes with the cloth. Then it has become very difficult for him to walk. So he put an eye in the leg. That is called Akshapada. But that is called Akshapada in the same way. But to support Vedanta, he has refuted his Guru. But not supporting Vedanta, Jaimini wrote this Karma Kanda. That is the difference.
So we had very great surgeons in those times who can fit the eye in the feet, cut off the head and put a horse head. These are all celestial surgeons.
Whole and its parts are as between the fitness for particular undertaking, the person endowed with fitness. See, he is giving the example of rights. There is no order, he says. Order in while cutting the liver, tongue and sacrifice an animal, there is order. Like that here there is no order. That first you should read only the Vedas of the rights portion, and then you have to come to, first you do Dharma, then you come to Brahma. Like that, there is no order in Vedanta. Those who study Vedanta, they can directly come. So this becomes clear also from the fact that the inquiry into Dharma and that into Brahma yields two different results. The knowledge of Dharma yields prosperity and its fruits, which is an outcome of the observation of Dharma. Dharma gives only prosperity in the world. So it is completely following the Dharma means attaching to the worldliness. But that's why now and then I quote, I say, even the greatest follower of Dharma, Dharmaraja, at best went to heaven, no religious. But the result of knowledge of Brahman is liberation, which does not depend upon any other practice. Except Sravana Manana Nididhyasa, no other practice is necessary for knowledge. Dharma, which the inquiry is to be begun, is a matter to be achieved still, since it does not exist at the time of acquisition of its knowledge, and since it is dependent on the endeavor of man, whereas, so those who are desire of prosperity, they follow the actions. And whereas Brahman that is to be inquired into here is already existing and does not depend upon human endeavor. Now as Gaudapada says, you are already bliss absolute. Only you have to uncover the ignorance. Whereas there in actions, you have to do the actions, even a little it goes that side, this side, you will not get the results, and you have to do so much of efforts. So, what I was telling you, see, first you have to superimpose the mind on the consciousness. Then it becomes I. Then the doership, then enjoyship, then wife, then actions, and so much of money you should have to get all the objects of the... All these things are, that means starting from the I, the first superimposition, you have to superimpose so many things for actions. But here, no doership, no enjoyship, no mind, no wife, no children, nothing external, nothing internal. So here removing, negating in the path of knowledge. So you can see the difference, how much difference is there between the path of action and between the path of knowledge. How much difference is there? There it is only superimposing, here only negating. Now we will go further. ఏంటిది భవ్యస్య భవ్యస్య ధర్మో జిజ్ఞాస్యో న జ్ఞానకాలే అస్తి. He says the following of actions is very good. But during knowledge it is not there, he says. Jnana kale. In the time of knowledge it is not there. Purusha vyapara tantratva. You see, the actions, they are depending on the individual. If a Purusha, Tantra means Adhina, that is, the actions are depending on the individuals. If he is having a desire, then he will doing the rights. So, it is depending on the particular person. Purusha, Tantra. Kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum. If he want, he can follow the rights. If he don't want, he need not follow the rights. Or giving up the rights, he can do something wrong also. That is depending on him. Kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum. He can follow the rights, he need not follow the rights. But giving up all the rights, just attach it to the world, he can do all things of wrong, all wrong things. So, that is in actions. But here, it is Vastu Tantra. It is not depending on any man, any individual, any aspirant. Atman is there, it is there, that's all. So, it is telling about the consciousness which is already existing. But whereas there, you have to do something. And if you are desirous of doing something, you will do. Here nothing like that. This is Vastu Tantra. Vastu means a substance is there like Atman. So, it is, everything is depending on that. And you are already that. So, what you are going to do? Remove the ignorance, that's all. Nothing to do here. Here only negation. There it is only superimposition. This much difference you should always understand and remember. What is the difference between the action and knowledge? There only superimposition, here only negation, but this much. You can put. Yatu Bhutam Brahma. The consciousness of Atman is already there. It is in the past, it will be in the future, it is in the present also. What? Atman. Consciousness. Jignasyam nityatva na purusha vyapara tantam. Then why you are telling inquiry into the Brahman? Because some ignorance is there. To remove that, we wanted to inquire. But that does not mean the inquiry is for the actions. Purusha vyapara. Whereas some actions you have to undergo for the prosperity through dharma. Here, no actions. Only sit and meditate and negate everything. There you have to spend so much. Without wife, you cannot do the actions. And without money, you cannot do the actions. Without house, you cannot do the actions. Here, no house, no wife, nothing, no money. Nothing is necessary. Sit and meditate. Whatever you get, you take. You may sit in the forest also. You can take the fruits and roots of the forest and can meditate. Here nothing is there. No outside cover, no outside bondage. Whereas that is full of bondage. That's why he says Nityatvat, na purusha vyapara tantram. Chodana apravritti bedachya. Chodana is vidhi. So, there for a particular desire, particular action is enjoined by the scriptures. Here nothing. You want to realize, but realize. Shravana Manana Nidhyasana, some process they will tell, you do. So, the inquiry into both the things are different. Yahi chodana dharmasya lakshanam sa swavishaye niyunjana eva purusham abodhayati. See, the injunction or the right, because of the desire in a person, it simply forces him to do. Where? In dharma. Purusham avabodhayati. Brahma chodanato purusham avabodhayati eva kevalam. There, niyunjana eva. Niyunjana means even you are having a desire for heaven or something, it makes you to work, actions. Here it just tells, that's all. Purusham avabodhetyeva. You are Atman, you are Brahman. This much it tells. Kevalam. Avabodhasya chodana ajanyatvat. And to make us understand of an aspirant of Brahma Jignasa, the rights and following the rights is not necessary. See, here in the path of knowledge, an aspirant he has to understand through the teaching of the master. So he was made to understand that you are Atman, you are Brahman, that's all. But whereas there, you have to follow so many rights, actions. Na purusho avabodhe niyunjate. So here also, for knowing Brahman, it is not forcing you to do these actions. That is left to you. Yatha akshartha sannikarshena arthavabodhe tadvat. Here you see, our 10th pontiff used to give a very good illustration for this. Say, today is Ganesha Chaturthi. That is, we do worship of Ganesha, and that day they say, without worshipping Ganesha, we should not see the moon. After worshipping, after taking the prasad, then only you can see the moon. But even if you see the moon, some ill fame will come to you. So better not to see the moon. So all the day what you will do? I don't want to see the moon, I want not to see the moon, like this you go. But suddenly you see that side, you will see the moon. Then the knowledge of the moon is already with you. So, for the knowledge of the moon, what you have done? Just you have seen above. So there is no action, not much action. You don't want to see, you have seen, that's all. But you have got the knowledge. Like that, if you want the knowledge, as the eyes have combined with the moon, so your mind should combine with the Brahman, that's all. For the knowledge, no special actions are necessary. That's why he says, akshartha sannikarshena avabodho tadvat. Just you see and you are having the knowledge. That's all, like that. Tasmat kimapi vaktavyam yadanantara brahma jignaso upadeshyate. So, you have to tell something after which the inquiry into Brahman is there. Then he says, yes, Nitya Nitya Vastu Vekaha. What is real, what is unreal, you have to discriminate. Iha Mutrafa Bhoga Viragaha. In this world or above the worlds, heaven, etc., you should not desire any fruits to go there or to be here also fruits. Shamadama, adi sadhana sampatti, shamadama, uparati, titiksha, saddha, mumukshutvancha. So these are the necessary qualities before inquiring into the Brahman. That is called atha. Teshu isasu pragapi dharma jignasayam murdhancha shikyate brahma jignasum jnatum cha na viparyaye. When you are having all these qualities, then only you are eligible to inquire into Brahman. Even before dharma or after dharma. Without this, it will be useless. Na viparyaye. Tasmad atha sabdena. Now he is bringing the first word atha. Atha sabdena yatokta sadhana sampatti anantaram upadishyate. After having this sadhana chetustaya, atha, then ataha comes. Atha sabdo hetvartha.
Swamiji, he says here that the eligibility is sadhana chatushtaya. And if sadhana chatushtaya is there, then there is the eligibility for the inquiry. Then, according to what Swamiji taught yesterday, there should be the study of the 10 Upanishads, fully. But my question is, before the study of the Upanishads, after acquiring the eligibility, but before the study of the Upanishads, should there be sannyasa initiation before?
Here, you see, everything depends on the individual's desire. If you want to know Brahman, there are persons, those who only go, leave the home and meditate. They are not worried about the sannyasa, this thing, that thing. But here you see, first, then the question rises, first to study the Upanishad, first to acquire all the qualities. There may be a contradiction. But the thing is, you see, everybody is not having facility of hearing the Upanishads. Though he is having Brahma Jignasa, they will not be having. And everybody is not possessing all the qualities. Control of the mind, control of the senses, and so much of tapasya, and full faith or shraddha. All these things are relative. So, if you are having a strong desire, you start from anywhere. You may have taken sannyasa or not. You may have possessed all the qualities or not. But when you start Savana Manana Nididhyasana, all these things will come afterwards. You see, it is something like this. Now, if you say, after the waves of the sea, when they stop, then I will take bath. Is it possible? It is not possible. So what you have to do? In the middle of the waves, but if here big waves are not there, in other places big waves are there. So in between the waves you should go and take bath. In the same way, don't worry about all the qualities you are having, all the Upanishads you have. If you know something about Brahman, start. Take sannyasa, no sannyasa, that is also, don't worry. Just contemplate on the Brahman, whatever you know. But if you are fortunate enough if you are fortunate enough, then he will be having the Vedantic knowledge. If you are not fortunate, how many are there? Those who study Upanishads are these things. And nowadays, you see, it has become a fashion. They take sannyasa and go and teach Ramayana and Mahabharata and Bhagavata. So many pandits are there, so many scholars are there who can explain Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata. You should inquire Brahman, sannyasa Shravanam Kuryat, and you are going and teaching Ramayana. For this you have taken sannyasa. That means you want some money. Because Ramayana, if you tell, so many thousands of people will be coming. And taking sannyasa and you are teaching Ramayana. How far it is considered by the scriptures? Oh, these all become this extravagance. It has become so much. Even big Mandaleshwars in Haridwar and other places, instead of teaching Vedanta, they teach Ramayana and Bhagavata. Because they have to take care of the ashram. For that money is necessary. So if you teach Ramayana, Bhagavata and Bharata, many people will be coming and will be giving. If you start Vedanta, not even 3 persons will sit before you. And you make Vedanta, already he is having renunciation. So what do you expect from him? He will not give a single pie to you. They are all interrelated, you see. But here, the inquiry into Brahman is completely individual. Need not worry about anything. It is completely your self-desire and individual. So,
Samanyato Gyatam, Visheshato Agyatam. It's told in the scriptures, who engages in learning the Upanishads. They say that he knows something about it. He has heard something about it, about the scriptures, but he doesn't know the specifics. So he has engaged in learning. Samanyato Gyatam, Visheshato Agyatam.
that's why he starts studying Upanishads. And that's why he starts inquiry. Because you know, something is there besides the body, consciousness, and he knows this also, that consciousness is not different from the Brahman, but he has not experienced. Those who experience, taking the support of the Upanishads, he studies them and accordingly he will be doing Shravana Manadhyasana and experience. Kanta kaya hi hai?
Adi yathoka sadhana sampatti anantaryam upadishyate. Atah shabdo hetvarthaha.
अतः शब्दो हेत्वद यस्माद् वेदे एव अग्निहोत्रादीन् से साधनानाम् अनित्यफलतां दर्शयति. Atha means, you see, in the Vedas itself, the fruits of actions are unreal has been declared. Tatha tad yatha ye karmajito loka kshiyante evame amutra punyajito loka kshiyate. So, as all the worlds that are acquired by the actions, so they are futile, no fruit. Kshiyate, they get destroyed, the fruits of the actions are destroyed. Evam eva amutra punyachito lokaha. Though whatever words you get through actions, they are destroyed. Whatever the lokas you get through the good, punya, that also, Brahmaloka also. Abrahma bhavana lokat punaravartinorjina. Sri Krishna says very clearly. Even if you go there, if you are having the desire of enjoyment, again you have to come back. Abrahma bhavana loka punaravartinorjina. So, the actions and the good, what you acquire, both are futile. The results are destroyed. Tadyaha. Tatha Brahma Vijnanadapi Param Purushartha Darsyati. In the same way, even if you know generally, In general, that fruits are told about the knowledge of the Brahman. Brahma vidapnoti param taitriya. So he gets the highest. He becomes Brahman itself. And becoming Brahman is all pervading. And all the joy of Brahman he enjoys sitting in one place. So that is the result. But there results are destroyed. Here, no destruction of the results. Tasmad yathokt sadhana sampatti anantaram brahma jignasa kartavyaha. Knowing what is the reason that the results are unreal, and after having the acquiring all the sadhana chitta sampanna, one has to inquire into Brahman.